Let's be real. We see it every day, don't we? The hazy skies, the litter, all the news about climate change. Pollution can feel like this huge, overwhelming problem. But what if I told you that the most powerful solutions aren't some massive, complicated projects, but actually simple choices we can all make every single day? That's exactly what we're going to get into. We'll break down some of the biggest pollution sources and uncover the simple things we can do to start healing our planet, like right now.
Oh man, we've all been here, haven't we? Stuck in a traffic jam, engine running, going absolutely nowhere. It's more than just a pain, you know? It's the perfect snapshot of how pollution is just woven into our daily lives. This isn't just wasting time. This is a direct hit on the very air we all need to breathe.
So, what is actually going on when we're all stuck in traffic like that? Well, the impact goes way beyond just a dirty-looking skyline. Let's peel back the curtain a bit and look at the science of what's really filling up our air. You know, the science is actually pretty straightforward. Think of it like this. The exhaust from our cars pumps out gases, mostly carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere. Those gases then act like a giant invisible blanket wrapping around the Earth, trapping the sun's heat and slowly but surely warming up the whole planet. And that, in a nutshell, is the greenhouse effect. And it's not just CO2, not by a long shot. Vehicle exhaust is this nasty cocktail of chemicals. We're talking about toxic carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, which lead to acid rain and smog, and these tiny little particulates that can get deep inside our lungs. Yeah, none of that is good for us or for the planet. Okay, so that's the bad news. But here's the good news. And it's really good news. We are not stuck. There are so many smarter ways to get around. So let's dive into how we can take back our roads and start transforming that daily commute. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the problem, a sea of individual cars, each one pumping out pollution and clogging up space. And on the right, the solution, a clean, super efficient public transit system moving tons of people with just a tiny fraction of the environmental cost. And the difference in efficiency, it's just staggering. I mean, look at this data. Public transport uses only 1/5 the energy for each passenger compared to a private car. That is a 500% improvement. Choosing the bus or the train isn't a small tweak. It is a massive leap towards saving energy. Okay, but maybe you're thinking public transport isn't really an option for me. Fair enough. But there's another super simple solution: carpooling. It's an idea that's been around forever because, honestly, it just makes so much sense. I mean, 4 people in one car is way, way better than 4 people in 4 separate cars. And the perks? They're instant. I'm talking about benefits for the planet, for sure, but also for you personally. You're slashing emissions, yes, but you're also saving a ton of money on gas and car repairs. Plus, with fewer cars on the road, traffic gets better, and you can actually use that time in the passenger seat to read, catch up on work, or just chill out. Now, vehicle exhaust is a huge, huge problem, but it's not the only thing messing with our air. Let's shift gears a little and talk about another source, one that has even more immediate health effects, and one we have total control over. We see this sign everywhere, right? The no smoking zone sign. It's so common we probably don't even register it anymore. But this little sign is about way more than just being polite. It's a really critical public health tool designed to protect all of us from the dangers of secondhand smoke. And this quote right here, it just nails it. The choice to smoke isn't just about you when other people are around. That smoke you exhale gets breathed in by friends, family, even strangers. They're called passive smokers, and they end up facing serious health risks without ever having lit up a cigarette themselves. And the health risks are just, wow. Take a look. Smoking is tied directly to this whole laundry list of diseases. Heart problems like high blood pressure and heart attacks, all kinds of cancer, asthma, even losing your eyesight. So creating and actually respecting smoke-free zones is a really powerful way to help prevent all of this stuff. Okay, so far we've talked about our cars and cigarettes. But let's pull the camera back. Let's zoom out to the big picture. What about the energy that powers our homes, our cities, pretty much our entire world? How we make it and how we use it is a massive piece of this whole pollution puzzle. For the most part, our modern world runs on fossil fuels. We're talking about oil, coal, and natural gas. These are these ancient resources buried deep in the earth that we dig up and burn to make electricity, heat our homes, and fuel our cars.
The problem is, burning them is a major cause of global warming and air pollution. And there's another really urgent problem. This stuff isn't going to last forever. In fact, at the rate we're going, we could be completely out of the world's crude oil reserves in just 50 years. 50. That's probably in our lifetime. So we're not just polluting our planet, we're literally running out of gas.
So, what do we do? Well, it can actually start right in your own home with some really simple choices. First, making sure your home is properly insulated, so you're not just throwing money away on heating and cooling. Next, when it's time to buy new appliances, look for that Energy Star label. Also, switching your old light bulbs to modern LEDs, they use way less electricity. And finally, maybe the easiest one of all, just unplugging your gadgets when you're not using them. Every single one of these things really does add up.
All right, for our last big idea, let's move from the air we breathe down to the very ground under our feet and the food that comes from it. So, what's the deal with organic anyway? What does it really mean? Well, it's a lot more than just a fancy label on your food. It's a whole different way of thinking about farming. Instead of depending on a bunch of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, it's all about creating healthy, living soil. It's about working with nature, not trying to fight against it. The whole idea is built around this self-sustaining cycle you see right here. It relies on natural ways to control pests, it recycles organic stuff back into the soil, and it stays away from genetically modified organisms. It's a closed-loop system designed to be good for the land, the animals, and, of course, for us. And this isn't just about farming techniques. It's guided by a really clear set of values. There's the principle of health for the soil, plants, and people. The principle of ecology, which is about working with natural systems. Fairness in how you treat people and animals, and care for the planet and for future generations.
So, when you think about it, every time we choose to buy organic, we're doing something bigger than just putting food on the table. We're casting a vote. We're voting for a type of farming that wants to cut pollution, help biodiversity, and just treat our planet with some respect. And that right there is the key to all of this. Carpooling, unplugging a charger, buying organic. Yeah, they might feel like small individual things, but imagine millions of us doing them. When you multiply these small actions by millions of people, they stop being small. They become this powerful, undeniable force for change. We've gone through a lot here, from the car to the kitchen, and all of these fixes, they're right there, totally within our reach. So, looking at all these simple but really powerful solutions, the only question left to ask is, which one change are you going to make first?